Hey everybody, before I start this video, I just wanted to show, I haven't done a video since I've got these in my possession, but last month when Stephanie and Martin came out to Florida, they were very kind to travel along. This sticker from our good friend Des for his his stickers that he made because it's Star Wars. I absolutely love this sticker, and I'm so glad to have one in my possession. Also, Martin gave me one of the stickers from their channel a long time ago. So Adam, Martin, thank you so much for these. If you're not one of Martin and Adam's subscribers, absolutely do that. They are fantastic. They do a lot of great content. And Des is always around. I was thinking about doing a show in the future, like a live stream, and hopefully partner with Des, and I'd call it, well, we're talking about it because it's Star Wars. But that's all I got for this one. Let's get started with the video. Again, Des, Adam, Martin, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Now let's start the video. Hello there. So I'm going to try to start doing something different. I don't want to do straight up reviews of vehicles or figures or anything else anymore. I mean, honestly, there's so many people that do it better than me. I mean, if you want to see something like that, you know, watch Boss Bounty will do it, and does fantastic. Only One Kenobi. So, you know, Bread on Fett is awesome as well. Keith Guppy, Mando number 5, does a lot. So, you know, I just want to do something a little bit different. And when I look at stuff, you know, because when I started doing this, I really just started to talk about stuff that's in my collection. And, you know, and so, yeah, I will talk about something new I get in, but I don't want to just sit there and, hey, here's Luke's box, here's what, you know. I kind of want to talk more about Star Wars itself, and getting something new like this gives an opportunity to talk about a different aspect of Star Wars. And one of the things I wanted was, like, you know, how this vehicle was introduced into Star Wars, and how has it evolved since then. And so that's really what I want to talk about. I'll do a quick look at it. You know, it's so, you know, the box is really nice. I love how they put, like, it's like sitting on Lethal, like in the show. So they, you know, they did a good job with that. And you know, so here, you know, it got great images on it. You know, here's another shot there, the legalese. All right, so hey, okay, we've looked at the box. The box is nice. Yeah, if you're box collectors, you're gonna like the box. Really a big star for me, other than the vehicle itself, is that it comes with this droid, the KEN-4. He is VC 341. For anybody who is in the Air Force, will like that. There's a form. It's the merit or demerit form when you're in training. Is the ATC form 341. So it's just a little laugh there for anybody who was in the Air Force, or should remember that. But what I really like about this droid is, as far as it, you know, as I haven't opened them yet, I'm going to put them in here. Is that the really is the look? I think he looks like it's a Build-A-Droid mold, which I'm okay with. I really wish they would give us a better astromech, but as far as sculpts go, the Build-A-Droid is a lot better than the one we have for, well, you'll see when I do some of my comparison in a bit, for the droid that goes for the Rogue One X-Wing. But what I love about this is just the absolute nod to vintage here with the look. Like, this is my R2-D2 with sensor scope. And so, I mean, just the fact that they did a nod to made him look like that. Love it, okay? Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, as far as the vehicle itself is very cool. You know, you do have to put the wings on when you get it out of the box. Some assembly required. You got this little part here. You can put the droid in. There's a little storage space back here. The cockpit's actually kind of cool. It slides open. Let me see if I can actually do it. This one doesn't slide all the best, but it does work okay. Oops, and as I pop it right off the thing, so awesome. But there it goes right there, so you can open and close there. And landing gear, one thing I really like, and whoops, I dropped a piece there, but I'll get it later, is the way the landing gear fit. So you have the landing gear going here like this. And like the X-Wing, like the Rogue One X-Wing, it's the same, that sculpt, they have the landing gear in the engine, which is just like, oh, guys, come on. But yeah, it fits well, really looks good. You do have to also add these little cannons. They pop on. Very easy. But I got a fantastic looking ship, nice little, small fighter. I like it. My thing here is how this fits in Star Wars. Now, if you are a reader of the old Dark Horse comics, the E-Wing was first introduced in the comic. It's called Dark Empire, and and if you are familiar with that, you also know that was pretty much the plot for the Rise of Skywalker, with the whole bringing the Palpatine back in a clone body. And I got to admit, at the time when the comic came out, I wasn't really a huge fan. I love the artwork of the comic. I mean, there's some things in there like that was where they canonically brought back Boba Fett, because he's chasing Han and Leia because Leia's wanted for killing Jabba the Hutt. But the artwork in it is absolutely fantastic. There's a part where Luke takes down an Imperial Walker using the Force, which is really cool looking in there. The looks of like Palpatine in it. I mean, there's a lot of things in it that look really cool. So the artwork was absolutely fantastic. It was the plot that I found was a little lacking. I mean, it was just kind of lazy. Like, oh yeah, like Boba Fett's back. He says the Sarlacc found me indigestible, and that's really all they talk about and how he got out. And I'm okay with it. He was wearing a suit of armor. He has a jetpack with a rocket in it. There was no way that he was going to die in the Sarlacc. But he's flying a ship called Slave 2. I mean, it was just some goofy crap. And they had like Ewoks were like enlisted soldiers fighting in the Empire. It was fighting the Empire as part of the Alliance. It was just kind of weird. Some of the stuff that they put in it. And it was just kind of, it was like, guys, you didn't even try. But anyway, when they come to the E-Wing, this was one of the things in the comic was that they were going to different planets, and the New Republic is trying to kind of modernize their fleet and the fighters, and they're looking at the E-Wing as a replacement for the X-Wing. It's a more modernized thing. Now, it's kind of interesting. I mean, because maybe it's faster or whatever. It's with its size, but but basically they're trying to replace this vehicle. By the way, see what I mean about the landing gear? Kind of goofy. Which is kind of like the workhorse for the Rebellion and probably the New Republic itself. Is the standard Incom X-Wing. And so then they want to replace it with this, which is it's a little smaller. I mean, assuming these scales are the same, and I think, they pretty much are. I mean, forget about the aesthetic that I think all the vehicles are all slightly underscaled, but that's another story for another time. But so, it's a smaller, maybe more powerful. Does it have the same amount of weaponry? I mean, like this one here obviously has a way to deploy missiles. The X-Wing here. And so you have this vehicle, and it's, hey, a little sleeker, a little different. Now, possibly could be an X-Wing replacement. And even in the comics and stuff, in Legends, it didn't really take off after Dark Empire about the E-Wing. But, honestly, it's a great look. I'm glad they added it. And honestly, I'm glad they made this and actually incorporated it into the new canon, like showing it up in Ahsoka. But the thing, obviously now, the way canon is now, the replacement for the X-Wings from the original trilogy are these X-Wings here. And, so, by the way, fantastic vehicle. I love this thing. It's just a great look. But, so it's a little sleeker, but it's basically, it's an X-Wing that seems to have been made slightly better. Like, an improved X-Wing, which makes a lot of sense as things go forward in Star Wars, and I'm cool with it, okay? But again, now these are in canon. They are, it's not just in Legends. So, but I also look at like how they are using this. It's like the Lothal Planetary Defense employs the E-Wing, and honestly, the way it looks, you don't see him in space in the show. I mean, but it's probably space worthy. And so I kind of like the idea of like different planetary defense forces having stuff like E-Wings instead of X-Wings, which the X-Wings, and if you look at in the Ahsoka show, they are still using, and it's taking place, 5, 6, 7 years after Return of the Jedi. So it's not a whole lot of time has passed, but they're still using the regular, Carson Teva flies an X-Wing like this one. And that's, cool. I like it. So it was, I'm actually cool with how they are putting this stuff in canon now. So, obviously the modernized X-Wing is going to be this guy here, this style. And I like it. It's just, it's the, that thing. But the fact that they do have different types of fighters, and you see this maybe as, like I said, Lothal's planetary defense, or you can see it on other planets. And you might see a few of them scattered throughout the fleet, just kind of a diversified type of thing, where I think, if you look at it as what the different types of fighters, different class, I mean, maybe, you have, like this, this type of X-Wing is your multi-role fighter. Think of something like an F-15E that's in the Air Force. So that's kind of a more of a multi-role fighter. It does different things. It can do, air-to-air interdiction, intercepts, and it also does like, bombing. Whereas like, you have your Y-Wing. Y-Wing's more of a light bomber type fighter, and then you have the A-Wing, which is, is kind of more your speedy little interceptors going after, say, that's really kind of going after TIE fighters more than, say, like a Y-Wing would. And I could see this kind of filling that role as well. Maybe it's like a beefier type of interceptor type vehicle. I mean, it's bigger than it's much bigger than an A-Wing. Let's see, do I have my, oh yeah, here it is. So here's an A-Wing, which is much smaller, assuming we're again making the assumption that these are all to scale with each other. And so that's, a good, that's just strictly an interceptor. I mean, it's really just kind of going out and fighting off different fighters so that your bombers can make their run. If you remember, like in The Last Jedi, when they have the bombers coming in, they had a bunch of different fighters, but one of the things with what's her name? Callie, I think is her name. She's flying an A-Wing. And they're trying to keep the fighters off the bombers. I could see an E-Wing filling that role. Obviously, the Resistance didn't have any of them, or at least not at that battle. So that's, but I could see that being a role that this fighter plays. So I'm glad to have it in my collection, and I like the fact that it is actually no longer a Legends thing. It's obviously a different role than what Legends originally had for it. And I mean, even Legends wasn't, but like I said earlier, Legends wasn't really held on to. Everybody's flying an E-Wing after this. So, I mean, the X-Wings were still being used. And then eventually, like I said, you get the modernized X-Wing. But, that's pretty much it for this video. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you like how talking about it like this? I just really want to do something different. I would love to hear from you. So, leave a comment below. And thanks again for watching. You've made it this far. If you're one of my subscribers, thank you so much. I do greatly appreciate you. If you're not a subscriber, please consider hitting subscribe. Would love to have you. Leave a like. You've made it this far, so please leave a like. Help me with the algorithm there. Leave a comment below. Would love to start a conversation about this sort of stuff. I mean, this is the stuff that I really do like to do, and And you can even talk about what do you like or dislike about this vehicle, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about the role in Star Wars. You can be the toy itself. I'm cool with that. But that should do it for now. And until next time, may the Force be with you.
Remember, the Force will be with you always. The Force will be with you.